old-fashioned, dare I say, conservative household as a young man, and it was only after many life experiences that I've now tread severely on the left. But I get like when people say things like, "Oh, why don't you get a job?" You know, and I get the bitterness. You know, like I know what it's like to be your average American guy that nobody really helped out. I worked hard my whole life. Nobody helped me out. I didn't get no handouts. I worked 2 jobs and that stuff. And I think a thing that this country needs to do is we need to really appreciate and commend the average worker. I mean, to be a worker and to pay your bills and all the difference between the internet and stuff, it's quite an accomplishment.
Yes.
Like, I'm really in awe of some people that are just keeping their lives together.
Yes.
And so first I really need to say that's important. People that can keep their life together and don't get any handouts and accept welfare, it's an impressive feat.
Yes.
And when people are criminals and drugs and stuff, I understand that there's a lack of empathy for that situation. But with drugs specifically, I blame the government. I don't know how much of this homelessness is a conspiracy and how much it's necessary to have people on the, like I've been told by so many sociology experts that it's kind of necessary existence to have the really, really poor if you want to have the really, really rich or something like that. And
Yes.
you need to have somebody
Where
at the bottom.
can you get a scholarly article to prove that out? Because I would love to get my hands on that, because the way that this capitalistic system is run, we need the poor.
Right.
And even the Bible says, the poor we shall have with us always.
Sure.
But where can I find that to verify how, sociologically speaking, you know, just think about it. You could shoot me an email.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
I just know that like Marx wrote that, you know, you can only make a profit through exploitation of the workforce.
Yes.
Otherwise, if you shared in the profits fairly, then there would be no profits because everyone would get paid what they're due for the work.
Right.
And but as far as the drugs go, you know, yeah, I go around San Francisco, there's needles everywhere, and I walk on Market Street. Sometimes I like to skateboard at 2 in the morning around San Francisco because there's no traffic. And I'm on Market Street, and they're just shooting up in not in the daytime too, but especially at night.
Yeah.
They're out, and there's police everywhere, and they don't do anything.
Yeah.
And I blame society. Like, are drugs illegal? Then do something about it. It's not my community that's bringing in the heroin. I mean, if my homeless community can get a hold of heroin, then it must be really cheap and really available.
Exactly.
And that's on the government.
Yeah.
You're like, what are you guys doing? Trump saying it's coming across the border? Come on, it's not coming across the border. It's not. Drugs are not coming in on the backs of people that are hopping the fence. Drugs are coming in through the port of Oakland in shipping containers that are not being checked because they're owned by big businesses that pay a lot of money, so they're not going to get their stuff checked. And you know, we don't look for any of that stuff. That it comes in huge quantities through conspiracy and big business, not on individual illegals going across the Rio Grande. Illegal is a bad word. I'm sorry I said that. I really don't blame the guys that take drugs for taking drugs too much. I blame the guys that take drugs to get violent and to commit crime. But as far as the drug taking, I put that all on authorities. I think.
Yeah, they don't want. I was just kind of another panelist had recommended a book about dope fiends, and I just kind of skimmed through it. You know, Righteous Dope Fiends is the name of the book, and it focuses on a guy. I think his name was Frank, one of the many homeless voices in the book, and he was a cyclical dope fiend, but he had developed cancer, and he has gotten help many times, and every time he gets housing and then he's out of housing and then he gets bored when he has housing. I think his quote was, he was bored. So because he was bored, he went back to doping up, you see? And so because he went back to doping up, then he lost his housing. And then when he lost his housing, and then he turned it into a racial issue, you know. and he felt that the African Americans were at fault. And I think it's part of the Barack Obama administration, the backlash of his administration, coupled with the fact that the former president did not make the right policy decisions when he had the ability to make the policy decisions regarding homes and mortgages and that sort of thing. He did not make the policy decisions. So, but at any rate, again, to solve the homeless problem and to, I guess, to wrap up our interview, what would you say would definitely solve the homeless problem in Oakland, California?
I want to do and can do, a slogan is aim higher. I want to create outreach that looks for the successful homeless person, as it were. Like there's a camp called the Here There camp that's on the border of Oakland and Berkeley.
You're at the club. Some bad cat from LA lets loose with rapid fire skins and snares. The neat punctuation cracks the cymbals, bringing it all to a head. Over and above the rhythms and the melodies and that fire god sax man until nothing more can be said without him. Hey, whale man!